And good day, all of you. Jean Henderson Pierre. Okay. Good day, all of you. Jean Henderson Pierre, the Beverage Ramble, back again with you. Another Beverage Ramble edition today from Academia Brewing Company. This is the IQ. The IQ. Their IPA. This is their flagship IPA from the brewery. This is the first thing I've had any from Academia. So I've been sitting on the shelves, but again, every time I'm at whatever store, local Vine or whatever local package store, even Trader Joe's or you name it, Whole Foods, whatever, I see it there, but then I'll see something else that I like and I'll go ahead and grab it. But, so it goes. 88 score on Beer Advocate. Gets a 3.8 out of 5 on Untappd. So using Citra, Simcoe, and Hallertau Blanc hops. The IPA here. A little kind of gray day today. Didn't want to. I got up, was going to go ahead and go walk, but unfortunately the weather kind of took an immediate turn by the time I just got in my truck, and I said, yeah, I'll turn back and let's see. And it still looks kind of rainy outside, but oh well. So this is what the IPA looks like. I 6.6% ABV. I look at these most times as session IPAs because of the ABV. Or your standard IPA. So that's why I consider them if you're 4.5% up until maybe 7%, that's to me is your standard for session IPA. Which is not bad, nothing wrong with that. Don't like drinking a lot of heavy stuff from time to time. I take it easy and take it light. So, good scent. Obviously, the citrus aromas are all there. So, let's have at it. Cheers. The brewery's based here in Athens, Georgia. Grapefruit, citrus flavor, more grapefruit, or more of a ruby red grapefruit flavor I'm getting in the 16-ounce can. By the way, bought this at Trader Joe's. Of course, Trader Joe's tends to have a lot of all the local stuff. If you go to any Trader Joe's that does sell alcohol, you'll see not only their brands, but also you'll see all the other the local stuff, and that's around the state or within the area. Whether it be from Sweetwater to this, that, they always make sure there's a section with all the local breweries, or the local vineyards, so they do sell wine as well. So, and of course their stuff, Very reasonably priced, man, I'll tell you. I should have gotten that 6-pack the other night instead of paying what I paid for this other 6-pack, which was like, oh god. Trader Joe's is becoming like my go-to store for everything, groceries. Because just me really by myself, so I get a lot of meats and chicken and things like that, which I'm going to make today. I should do it on the stovetop instead of cooking it on the oven. Give a little feel to it. But anyway, back to the beer. Sorry, I just wander off. But anyway, grapefruit. That's what I do. Grapefruit, orange, ruby rock. That ruby rock grapefruit flavor I'm getting in this. It's pretty good. This is really good. It's not heavily heavy. There's a little maltiness to this. But really good, very drinkable, refreshing, good IPA. And I think someone left a comment, probably not this review, from a previous review I had done. And it was an IPA and feel like, hey, we're kind of IPA'd out, I get it. I mean, once you've had one and that tastes like this one tastes like similar to that, yeah. But it is a style that's not going away and will never go away and will be here with us forever. Of course, I say the IPA craze really began, I think, 25 years ago, I would say. I wouldn't say it was with Goose Island, or I wouldn't say it was Lagunitas, but the style has been around forever. But I've had some Belgian IPAs, the Lafrique, which is a great Belgian Indian Pale Ale. I got that when I was in Mississippi. When I lived in Mobile, and I can go to Mississippi and get some things, and that was really good beer. Really great brew. From Green Flash or Green Point, I believe it is. But the style's been around for. But I think the craze of IPAs, I think, started 25 years ago, and I could be wrong. I just, I think the success of Goose and the success of Lagunitas, probably the two, were really kind of the trend. Harpin, of course, and then the New England style IPAs, and if you want to go date back to to what Sierra Nevada was doing back then, with the Pale Ale, which that's a Pale Ale, but their other IPA they had. Really began sort of the big push of, hey, let's do an Indian Pale Ale style beers and everything else. It's history, but the style's been around forever. And yes, I know we try one, like, hey, this is similar, this is ho hum, yeah, but hey, what do you expect? You had one, you had them all, right? So was a good tropical flavor. More, like I say, there's a little sweet ruby red grapefruit flavor to this. Maybe a little melon, honeydew melon maybe, but it's all these tropical flavors that's all inside. And again, it's going down nice and crisp, a good, nice malty base, making this beer very malty. So this is a good IPA. Again, for the price, I'm sure for this is, again, I only paid $2.09 for this can, 16-ounce can. Imagine the 6-pack would be, I would guess 12-ounce cans, maybe what, $8.99, $9.99. But there are other IPAs a little more inexpensive, from Sweetwater, and I can get. But IPAs are not my standard go-to beers. If I'm having some dinner, from something I'm going to eat for the night, yeah, I could do that. But most times, I would get the Goose, or I would get the Lagunitas, the tall cans. Those are pretty accessible, and the ones that are more easily I can get, Sweetwater and all those brands. This is right here. They are global now, but those are probably the ones, the regular and the hazy IPA, and of course the Lagunitas. So those are the ones that I consider my go-to, and that I would have if I'm going to make dinner. But if I'm just for anything, a regular, give me an everyday adjunct lager, a pilsner, or a cream ale, I'm fine. So that's what you usually see in my fridge. Most of those styles of beer. But anyway, wandering on the tangent again, rambling on because it is the beer ramble. The beverage, excuse me. So I'm going to go same score, 88, 8.8, B plus all the way for Akademia. Brewery is based in Athens, Georgia, as well as Creature Comforts, with some of all their beers that they have, and of course the behemoth that is Terrapin. But Terrapin is now owned by Molson Coors. I wouldn't call them I wouldn't call them a craft beer company, no. Terrapin is like, Terrapin is big boy now, just like Sweetwater. So, global, as they say. But anyway, 8.8, B plus all the way for the Academia IQ, the genius India Pale Ale. Check it out. You may like it. Jean Henderson Pierre, the Beverage Ramble. Thank you keep on watching. As always, cheers, live, laugh, and love. Academia. Genius, I say. Yay.